So reading the verse, Yam Sanyasam iti prahu, Yogam tam vidhi pandava, Nahyasanyas sankalpo yogi bhavati pastana. Again 6.2. So it reads 6.3 today. Aru-rukshoho muner yogam karma karana uchyate, Yogarudha tasyeva shama karana uchyate. Shloka. So this talks about Adhikari, Bhedam. Not everyone is prescribed the same process. Everyone is given a process based on his level of advancement. So, Aru-rukshoho mune. So one was just climbing. Yogam. So his yogam is caused by karma, which means by performing his activity, it is better for him to practice Krishna consciousness. By performing his material duty. But for someone very advanced, yoga-rudhasya, yoga-rudha, rudha means very like fixed. Yoga-rudhasya is already climbed. Tasyeva shamaha. Shamaha means completely ceasing all activities, ceasing all material, mental engagements. So what is the means to progress in Krishna consciousness? If I perform my work, will I progress in Krishna consciousness? Or if I stop all my work, will I progress in Krishna consciousness? So for a jnani, who is higher than a karmi, so karma yoga, jnana yoga, right? So Krishna is telling, if you are a person who's yoga-rudha, if you're all advanced in yoga, then you don't have to perform material activity and then give it up. No, not necessarily. You can simply give up material activity even to start with. If you are yoga-rudhasya, tasyeva shama karanam uchyate. So Prabhupada is writing very nicely in the purport. This process of linking oneself with the Supreme is called yoga. Very simple. It may be compared to a ladder for attaining the topmost realization, spiritual realization. This ladder begins from the lowest material condition of the living entity and rises up to perfect realization and pure spiritual life. According to various elevations, different parts of the ladder are known by different names. But all in all, the complete ladder is called yoga and may be divided into three parts, namely Jnana, Dhyana, and Bhakti. The beginning of the ladder is called Yogarudha stage, and the highest rung is called Yogarudha. Concerning the eightfold yoga systems, attempts in the beginning to enter into meditation through regulative principles of life and practice of different sitting postures are considered more or less fruitive material activities. All such activities lead to achieving perfect mental equilibrium to control the senses. When one is accomplished in the practice of meditation, he ceases all disturbing mental activities. A Krishna conscious person, however, is situated from the beginning on the platform of meditation because he always thinks of Krishna. And being constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, he is considered to have ceased all material activities. So it's Prabhupada's way of writing the purport to say how a Krishna conscious devotee fits all these definitions of yoga, how all these definitions of an Ashtanga yogi, definitions of a Jnana yogi, definitions of a Sankhya yogi. So Prabhupada's, it's a very nice style. He says, you simply remember Krishna, you automatically fulfill everything that is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Simple. Simply surrender to Krishna and you fulfill all the conditions that Krishna says of a jnani, a devotee, this, that, everything completely done. That's like, say a person goes to a very special school, he finishes all his portions in 2 months. And then the son does not believe, how can I finish my portion in 2 months and other people study for 12 years? Then he says, you see, 6th grade, we're talking about trigonometry. See, you already know trigonometry. You see, differential calculus coming in 9th grade, you already know. Right? You see 11th grade, this happens, nuclear energy, fission, fusion, whatever. So he's able to say, see, you're covered that, you're covered this, you're covered that, everything is covered. No agitation of mind, no material desires, no material activities. Why? Because you have surrendered yourself completely to the Lord. Simple. So Prabhupada's purport is more realistic actually if you perform the act of surrender and read it. If you do not perform the act of surrender and read Prabhupada's purport, it will appear like, why is Prabhupada talking like that? But if you perform the act of surrender, right, and read Prabhupada's purport, it will be very rasika, very, very rasamayam. It will be very relishable. You must say, yeah, correct, yeah, correct. This also clicks, that also clicks. Yes, very nice, very nice. So one will relish every shloka of Bhagavad Gita like that, you see. So, so the point is, if a person is just beginning Krishna consciousness, then you prescribe to him some forms of yoga. Just like when someone comes, we distribute a book, we say, yeah, come chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra, do your material activities, you do your career nicely, and then give some money, give some $100, give some $50. So we say like that because that is what they can do. So many times when we ask someone to take a book, they won't, most people are not interested in philosophy. And when I came to the US, I actually thought people are very intelligent. And the more I met people, I understood actually, very few people are actually interested in philosophy. Most people approach life when they like something, they start following it. The like comes first and then the conviction comes later. Whatever they like, they will try to convince themselves there. This is what for most people is true, right? So no one is thinking which is the right philosophy, what is the problem here, what is the problem there. Like very, 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 very few people I've actually seen in my experience. Like most people are satisfied, with this. Like I was born in this family, I was born a Hindu, and I'm good with that. Right? I'll come and do some little bhajan, little kirtan, and so this is what they want. I mean, so for them, we don't say chant 16 rounds or something. Okay, take a Bhagavatam set. Right, take a Chaitanya Charitamrita set, take this, take that, because at least your hard-earned money will be engaged in Krishna consciousness like that. Because anyway, you will not spend your time in dedicated manner every week. You're not going to come, I know. You're too busy. You're thinking you're too busy. So can at least do this. So Aru-rukshoho muner yogam karma karanam uchyate. You're just engaging their money. You're just engaging their output of your material activities because there are Aru-rukshoho. They are not very advanced. They're not really interested to progress in Krishna consciousness. So they just want to give some donation. They want to do this. They don't want to do that. That's also good. I mean, we of course, we don't look down upon anyone. We actually take inspiration. A devotee does not think they are lower and I'm higher. A devotee always feels that he is the lowest. But yet, from an absolute perspective, there is a difference of these people. So, Aru-rukshoho munehe yogam karma karanam uchyate. So, for those people, you perform your activity, just add Krishna, do your work, and offer it to Krishna, do some little puja, just come here, give some donation, like that. Karma. Mostly it is karma pradhanam. That is his yoga process. That is the medicine he's given. Right? The tablet that the doctor prescribes for someone who's very attached to his material activity, if you see into the tablet will be full of karma pradhanam. You perform your activities, you perform your dharma, like that. Karma karanam uchyate. But yoga rudasya tasyaiva. So if one is very advanced in yoga, then what happens? Then he can give up material activities immediately. But we should not imitate that. It is very difficult to be yoga rudhasya. Many times people take it up, but they cannot sustain it because they're not yoga rudha. But for someone who's really yoga rudha, he can give up material activities immediately. Immediately. Sometimes we see devotees are continuing from their past lifetimes. So the Indian parents also say sometimes you have to do this work, you have to have a career, you have to have a family. This is what is yoga. This is what Krishna is teaching. This is what is Shastra is teaching. That is the initial part. But if someone is really advanced, they can directly surrender to Krishna without having to go through any of this, right? So yoga rudhasya. If one is yoga rudha, then it's not wrong to give up one's career, give up one's family, give up one's everything. No, it's not wrong. Actually, it is right. So to do so. Mm. And he also cannot help doing it because it is his nature, because one feels what is the value of all of this? it naturally gives it up. So Yogarudha tasyeva shama karanam uchyate shama. So this is more for a jnani actually. Krishna is comparing a person who's karma pradhanyam and one who's jnana or ashtanga yoga pradhanyam. So, but a devotee can perform Krishna consciousness either engaged in material work or having renounced material work. In both situations, a devotee can perform Krishna consciousness. There is no badhakam that a grihastha devotee is lesser than a brahmachari devotee. Nothing like that, right? A devotee is already beyond the state of karma or jnana or ashtanga yoga because he is connected to Krishna in a feeling of love already. So is the yoga, is the really advanced, is very fixed. Why? What is the symptom? What is the proof? Prabhupada is saying, because he is constantly thinking of Krishna. He always thinks of Krishna. So how do we know whether we are a devotee or not? Very simple. Am I always thinking of Krishna? If I'm always thinking of Krishna, then I'm a devotee. That means I'm engaged in, I'm united with Krishna in Bhakti Yoga. Right? So if one is not able to do so, then what to do? Okay, then we have to do some Karma Mishra Bhakti or Jnana Mishra Bhakti, something like that. And then gradually come to the point of pure Bhakti. So Bhakti will purify Karma and Bhakti will purify our Jnana also. So we must understand the difference of Adhikari, why different people are given different instructions. But ultimately, they are meant to come to the point of pure loving service. Whether one is a sannyasi, or whether one is a grihastha, or one is a brahmachari, if one is loving Krishna, his position is perfect. Loving Krishna means thinking of Krishna always. This is the meaning of love. Not love, I think 2 minutes, or think while I'm chanting my 16 rounds. No. Loving Krishna means knowing Krishna, and one who knows Krishna will love him and remember him 24 hours. Stop here. Any questions or comments are available?
Prabhuji, I have a question. Mataji, you had something to say? So,
no one. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. So the question I have is, just because we are in the Bhakti Marga, and also for the fact that we are striving to perfect that path of chanting and thinking of Krishna 24 hours. The concept, I mean, the thing is, there's so much more we learn. The deeper we get, the deeper we come to the understanding that we don't know anything. To come to that stage, the ignorance in me is constantly saying I'm doing the right thing, but I know I'm always a step behind somebody else. I'm always 1,000 steps behind somebody else. I'm always million miles away from pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada and things like that. But I know, by knowledge, I know that. But the ignorant state of the mind keeps telling me that I am striving, I'm working hard, I'm doing the best possible. The concept, the duality of knowing that I'm nowhere close, but at the same time convincing myself that I'm doing everything possible in my hands. How do you get out of that duality of thinking that ignorance side of it and the jnana side of it, saying that I'm nowhere close to even achieving 1% of what I really can do to achieve that perfection of bhakti yoga, bhakti marga, but at the same time convincing myself, saying, hey, I do this and I do that and I do this, but I'm still feeling these agitations of saying I am not in between and nowhere close, but I'm still convincing myself that I'm doing everything possible.
Yeah, I would say nice question, Mataji. So you're feeling that you're not doing anything else, you're not doing as much as you should do. Is your heart hankering to actually serve Krishna more?
Yes.
Okay. So it is like you tell a girl to just say you text your husband and that is good. The girl is definitely not happy. At some point she says, I want to meet this boy. I want to talk to him. It's very natural, is it not? Similarly, so our heart naturally wants to give itself to Krishna more, so which is why we are dissatisfied with bhakti. So it's good you're dissatisfied with your bhakti. Now the other part of my mind says I'm doing everything best I can. Of course, that is our mode of ignorance through Maya Devi. She says, no, you're already doing good. So you must not kill yourself. Kill yourself means you must not kill your nature to get to Krishna closer. That is our nature. So our mind will say, give many reasons. So how do we benefit ourselves? So we should come in the association of very strong devotees who can actually tell things to us on our face, right? And say, like, who can take the freedom to us with us and says, you are a fool, right? You can die any moment. Take seriously, right? So do this, do that. No. So we need to tell, and for everyone, it's not like just for you or someone else on this call, for everyone, for me and for any devotee who is making advancement, we need someone to tell us, rascal, you do this. But most people are afraid of putting themselves under the radar and being disciplined and are accountable. So they let their mind be their spiritual master. So if we let our mind be our spiritual master, then we can't escape this material world. So you have to find a spiritual master and then surrender to him and obey him. Right? So that is the way to get out of it. Right now, your mind is your spiritual master, which is why it's able to cheat you. Okay. So we should choose a spiritual master other than our mind. Then we can actually solve this problem.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It makes so much more sense. It's just that once we have surrender to a spiritual master who can guide us, I think even if we accept like Srila Prabhupada as the spiritual master, the more we learn from his lectures, his script, his books, I think the more we will get to it. But I think I think your idea was more practical, where you have to come in association.
Yeah, correct. So more. So of course, one can accept Prabhupada as one Shiksha Guru is not. Of course, it's good, but a more practical help is rendered by more physical. It is easier is the progress. The more we try to make it mental, okay, I will hear Prabhupada online, I will read Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, then I'll try to understand what instruction to follow, then the 700 shlokas I will take something. So this is a little more difficult. But what is more easy is I go to someone who's following the parampara properly and go to him and obey him. That's it. So that's called physically. With our physical body, we go to that person. Pariprashnena sevaya. So this is very easy way to make progress. More difficult is I imagine something. So that's a little more difficult because on the level of mind, right? We're trying to get out of the mind, but still we are trying to use our mind to surrender to someone. So it's a little difficult. Physical, it's a little more clear. You hear that person directly talking to you, and then okay, this is what he wants me to do. Okay, I'll do it. Simple. That's easier. So our mind can cheat otherwise. Right now we have made mind our spiritual master. But we're again trying to make the mind our spiritual, like we're trying to make Krishna our spiritual master, like say for instance. But again, if our mind can say, this instruction I'm already following in Bhagavad Gita, so I'm already following Bhagavad Gita. You see? So in this way, the mind can cheat us if we try to, escape personal accountability. Okay.
Understood, yes. Thank you so much for that, Prabhuji.
Hare you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranams.